Hello humans, welcome back to Michigan Farms. We have accepted a barley harvesting contract that we have borrowed items for, as the field is much larger than our own fields. So we are making our way to the field that you can actually see up there on the left. That is the ripe barley ready to be harvested. So we are making our way there in this wonderful Case IH harvester. We are going to get the combine over to the field and start working on that contract. If you missed the last episode, we are in a really good place on our own farm. We don't have anything to be done in our fields, and our animals are happy. We did bring chickens onto the farm recently, which is one of the big reasons that we accepted this contract. So I am hoping that not only can we bring some money into the farm, since we haven't done that in quite a while, I also am hoping that after we harvest most of this, just like with most contracts, we are going to have a little bit left over that we would normally get paid for, but we're probably actually going to hold on to that additional grain and bring it back to our farm to fill up our chicken coop with food, which will be great. So I was interesting. Can't say I've ever seen that happen before. I was really hoping that we were going to be able to... why is it keeping the trailer on it? Have you ever seen that before? Am I connecting to it wrong? No, it's just not detaching. Interesting. Okay, let's put that down. Let's pick that back up. All right. We will need to sort this out. All right, well, it just shows that I've never used this type of equipment before, because look at that. You can actually fold the trailer in and out of this header. That is pretty nifty. I can't say I've ever seen that before. So here we go. We are going to start to harvest this barley field. That is really cool. I can't say I've ever seen that before. So a new feature that I just discovered and maybe help some of you discover. So we are going to start making our way across the barley field here. As I was saying, it's going to be great that we're able to find a contract, a harvesting contract here in June, but not only just a harvesting contract, but a contract for a grain that we are able to feed to our chickens. So this is the best of all worlds. I promise I did not mess with anything to make that contract pop up. That was 100% luck. So we are going to take that luck and work on harvesting up this barley, getting it carted over to the sell point, and then hopefully have enough left over at the end that we can bring to our farm and feed our chickens. So we are emptying our first combine load into our trailer here. It was only 2 passes of the headland up here to fill up this combine. So I'm thinking that this harvest contract is going to take a little bit longer than we maybe thought, but that is totally fine. It has a huge contract price. I believe it was like $18,000, and then it is going to help us out on our farm. So we are only 27% full here in the trailer, which is great. We've got this wonderful Stroutman trailer and the JCB Fast Track. So we are able to do at least a couple combine loads here in the trailer before we have to transport it, which is great. So we are just going to jump back into the field here. So hopefully doing contracts is something that we are able to continue to do. I really enjoy getting to use different pieces of equipment, even if it confuses me, like it did earlier with this header/header trailer combination. But it gets to show off some different parts of this map, gets to show off some different pieces of equipment, which is always great. But we are going to continue working on this contract and getting it pulled off the field and brought over to the sell point. So we're going to jump into a bit of a time lapse here. We will see you shortly. So that is our first full trailer of barley. So we are going to start making our way to the sell point, which reminds me, what is the sell point? Let's go ahead and we need to take it to the Michigan Farmers Market. Okay, so that's up there by the fuel station. So we will start to make our way that way. But I saw the notification for 20% completed pop up, so that's great. We are making some decent work here in the morning of our month of June. So we will continue to utilize workers, as you saw we were, with the field that large and needing to cart this back and forth. It is going to be quite the day for us. It's going to take much more of the day than I originally thought, but that is totally fine. So we've got 52,000 liters of barley here on board. We've got the combine on a worker continuing to work as we are doing this transporting here, and I will be interested to see what percentage the contract is at once we get this first load of barley unloaded. So it did say 20% already, so I'm also interested to see what percentage transported we get for each of these trailer loads. So I'm going to go ahead and get pulled in here. You can see that is the correct place, the farmer's market, as it says on the building there. So let's go ahead and get pulled in here and start to get this unloaded. So we don't want it coming out of the grain door, so let's go ahead and change the tip side to back and start to get that unloaded. All right, so quick unload, which is great. we will see where we get. All right, so a lot of notifications. So each of these trailer loads is about 26%, which is great. The contract on the field, we just got the 30% notification. We're at 31%. We also got the notification that our combine is already at 80% full. I was hoping that we were going to be able to make it to the sell point and back to the field before that combine filled up, but unfortunately that was not the case. So we are going to get back to the field and get that combine unloaded and then continue working on completing this contract. All right, so we are continuing to progress here in the field. You saw in that time lapse that we got our second trailer delivered to the sell point, although it was not a full trailer. So I was trying to figure out if I could make it up and back with the combine working at a little bit of a slower speed to not have it stop, and we were just able to do that. We got the 80% notification as we were pulling back into the field, had to spin around and get in position rather quickly. So we might continue to just do that as we can only unload as the combine is making its way back up the field. It looks like it fills up after about 1.5 passes. So we are going to continue to work this way here with getting the combine loaded and unloaded as it is making passes back up the field, and then getting the trailer actually over to the sell point before actually being full. That's going to allow us to continue to have the combine working and progressing through this field. So I believe we just got the 50%. Yep, 50% of this contract is completed. So we are going to continue to work on this, probably going to do most of it off camera and then bring you back in at the end so that you don't need to continue to watch harvesting and carting and harvesting and carting for another 50% of this contract. So we will see you in a little bit. Welcome back. We are finishing up the last pass of the barley harvest here. You can see that it's been a little bit over an hour of in-game time to get this field completely harvested. We were able to get into a pretty good groove with the fast track up there, unloading the combine, delivering it to the sell point, and then getting back to the field. We kind of figured out the balance there that helped us get everything taken care of. So there is the last bit of barley off of the field. So let's go ahead and get the remainder of this put into the trailer here, and we will make our way up to the sell point and see exactly how much of this we are going to have to offload before the contract is completed. If we jump into the menu, you can see we are already at 98%, so it probably won't be much of this trailer load here. The combine had a few 1,000 liters left in it, so we want to get that all put into the trailer here, and then we'll jump over into the fast track, and you can see we have 34,000 liters of barley here, so it's definitely not going to take all of that. I do also think that we will, when we get to the farmer's market, we will check exactly how much of the food that our chickens have. I believe the max capacity of our chicken coop is 20,000 liters. So we are going to play the game of how much of this barley can we sell to bring in some extra profit while still having enough to completely fill up the chicken coop with food. So we will look at that when we get there. I'm thinking we will want to hang on to about 18,000 liters or so. So a little bit more than half of what's in this trailer here to get it back to the farm to add to our chicken food. But we will jump into the menu and check all of that out when we get to the farmer's market. This contract has been great for us. We're going to bring in some money to the farm, so watching that bank account grow rather than decrease as it has been is going to be a nice little treat. But we couldn't have asked for a better contract. A harvesting contract that was in a large field, that was near the store and near the sell point, so that carting didn't take too much. You know, it could have been on the complete opposite end of the map, but it was right up here, made everything a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and jump into that menu. You can see again, 98%. And if we look at that, so look at the chickens, their food here, they've got about 1,200. And like I said, I think that, 20,000 is the maximum capacity. So we are going to keep, like I said, probably about 18,000. So let's start to offload this. We will see 92% transported for the field. Okay. Contract on field 2 has finished. All right, that's what we were looking for. So you can see we've completed the contract. We've also made a little bit of harvest income, $890 there. We've got 19,000 liters left, so let's get a little bit more offloaded. All right, so maybe a little bit more than we wanted to, but we brought in another $1,100 of harvest income on top of the contract price. And I want to make sure that I don't accept the contract yet, because we want to get this grain back to our farm and feed it to our chickens. So again, what a great contract for us. We've got 17,000 additional liters of barley here that is ours to do with. I'm hoping that I can feed it to the chickens. I've actually never taken additional harvest grain and tried to put it into a production or feed it to any animals, so hopefully this works. I've always just sold it off for that extra income. So we are going to make our way back to the farm, and hopefully we are able to feed this to our chickens. Okay, we are quickly approaching the farm. You can see that we've added in some driveways here off this main road into our animal yard. So we're going to get pulled in here, get down to that chicken silo, and get all of this unloaded into the farm. So hopefully that notification pops up as we pull up here. All right, start overloading barley. I'm hoping that's a good sign, so here we go, fingers crossed. Nice, we are able to unload it. So we are going to let that 17,000 liters unload. Hopefully it's going to take all of it for the chickens. Looking like it might, and it did. All right. So let's jump into the menu. We've got 18,000 liters of chicken food in there, which is great. That contract worked wonderfully for us, which also means now that we've done that, we can go in here and collect our contract. So look at that, $15,122 of contract income. And we were able to fill up our chicken silo. So our chickens will be good on food for quite some time now. So that is where we are going to leave the episode. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on our Michigan farm.